It's main events like the one on this show that'll keep me coming back for more. While the majority of the card was predictably underwhelming, with what were mostly matches with no notable moments to speak of, the headlining match on the show featuring an AWG championship match between Saki and challenger Misa Matsui delivered one of the best matches of the year for me in almost effortless fashion. The match was an entertaining back and forth between a challenger that was more than hungry to win the championship, judging by just how much abuse that she gave the champion, who in the end was just too big of a feat. The AWG Yokohama Pro Wrestling Festival, while not a good show from top to bottom, ended in such a way that I'm looking forward to their next big show. I haven't gotten that feeling from this promotion based off of the previous shows that I've seen, like their Colors events, for example. Events that are more so what the first three matches on the show were, which were mostly tag matches that didn't have any other purpose other than to serve as content for the live crowd more than it was to be all that good in any way. Even with their last big event in Cork and Hall, though, which was a show remarkably similar to this one, I didn't walk away from the main event for the AWG Championship the same way I did for the championship match on this show. With their show in Cork and Hall, we saw Saki win the championship from then champion Miyuki Takase in a good match that quite honestly saved the entire show from a below average score, but that match wasn't nearly as engaging as Saki's first defense here. With this match, I can finally see her, you know? With someone like me who's jumping into AWG for the first time this year, hoping for some great wrestling, all it really takes is that one wrestler to finally catches on with you. For me with Stardom, it was Hana Kimura. With AWG, it's Saki. And hopefully as more time passes, I'll start to recognize more wrestlers for all the right reasons similarly to her, because she came off like a total star on this show. So much so that I'm a little bit surprised that I haven't seen more of her in other promotions. AWG doesn't exactly seem like the promotion that would be adverse to add to their talent wrestling everywhere else once in a while. Hell, if Stardom's doing it as pretty much the top Joshi promotion, then what's stopping AWG? Now, I will admit it's pretty easy for me to walk away from a wrestling promotion full of wrestlers that I'm not familiar with and dismiss the entire promotion completely on the first watch. With the wrestling business as saturated as it is now, with globally available pro wrestling on streaming platforms all over the internet, even with as much now on weekly TV, it can become a bit of a hassle for someone like me who's well into the discovery phase and is already having enough trouble keeping up with everything. Personally, that's why I need a good reason to tune into the next show, even if the first one that I watch isn't all that impressive. I was ready to dismiss AWG a while ago for being a promotion that only seemed to put out shows exclusively featuring tag matches that weren't worth the watch like almost every other Japanese promotion that I've seen so far. At least here, if nothing outside of the main event was good, the main event delivered something that hit and something that hit hard. And now I can finally say that I'm looking forward to seeing Saki's next title defense, if nothing else. It's moments and matches like the one that she had here on this show that feel so fucking rewarding to watch. Also, not every match on this show was worth dismissing completely. The tag match that came before the main event actually turned out okay, even if it was mostly just a match that you'd have on in the background while doing other things with your time. It was comforting in a way. Comforting amidst a very lonely majority of the card, but still comforting. So altogether, AWG's Yokohama Pro Wrestling Festival was an average show, nothing too crazy outside of a main event that I'd go as far as to say was worth sitting through the entire show for. I'm looking forward to the next one. Hopefully that show is even better than this one.